Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun. Well, good morning. Nick Collier here once again. And as you can tell, I am swamped with Metro engines. My daughter blew her car up. The little red Metro, which my wife loves, needs a little bit of love and care. So I'm tearing down a couple of engines and boring them out and putting new pistons in and basically rebuilding the engines. And what I realize is that these engines don't sit evenly, like say an old Chevy V-block or something like that. You know, they're constantly flipping over, and so I decided, okay, before I get started, and actually what I'm doing right now is I'm waiting for parts to show up, so I'm kind of stalled out. But what I'd like to do, or what I'm going to do, is go ahead and build an engine mount to go on my little engine crane over there. So yeah, hey, let's get started. I'll show you where I'm going to go and what I'm going to do. Well, so the piece wasn't wide enough or long enough to fit in my the vise of my saw. So I just took another piece that I cut off of this, some time ago. Looks like it was super tight, and put that in just to make sure that it wasn't going to buckle in the backside and loosen up on the front side. Well, it looks like it's cutting pretty well. We're sitting right at 2 inches, I believe. Yep, right at 2 inches. We'll go ahead and cut that off and do a little machining on that, and that'll be our base. I'll drill 4 holes in this so that my arms can rotate back and forth and to adjust to different engines. Okay, we took it in and we faced off both the surfaces, and now and then I came in and on the lathe with the lathe bit I just scribed a circle around the approximate center. We're not looking at super accurate here. Now we'll come in with a centering tool here, and let me get a scribe. We will scribe 2 of our marks, and then find 90 degrees from that, and we'll be back in a second. So we'll find 90 degrees by taking a compass, setting it up on our line, coming over here and striking a mark, and then do the same thing on the other side, and that's going to give us exactly halfway between these 2 lines. Then we can just come in with our centering tool and scribe both of those lines. All right, so we've got 4 holes that we need to drill, and we'll just drop them in the vise here and go ahead and drill them out. We need to get this up off of the vise itself so we don't drill into it. And let me go get a couple of tools to get that with. Be right back. All right, well, so we've set it up so that we have 4 holes here, and then we're going to bring 4 arms out so that they'll be able to adjust and grab onto the block of the engine itself. Okay, so we're going to cut a 3/4 tapped hole in this side here and have an arm so that we can lock our position into place. And I've already drilled my pilot, and now we'll come back in with a 21. Well, let's go one step before that. Okay, so we've got our hole drilled and we're all set to go. Now we need to come in and put it in the lathe and bore out that inner circle, or that inner bore, and then this piece will be ready to go. We'll be back. Okay, so we're going to take this inner bore out just to clean, and then we'll adjust our shaft to the size of the bore. So, all right, I don't really like the finish of that, although it's not too bad. It just bounces around too much. It's too far extended. So I think what I'm going to do is just come in with a smaller boring bar. And see what we can come up with this little dinky guy here. It's a little closer. It's got a carbide bit. I think we might be able to get a little bit more action out of it. Okay, so we've taken it down just about as far as we need to go. We got probably one more little pass to get us. I mean, this is a press fit, so we're going to take another 2/1000 just to give us a slip fit. Yeah, there was just a little rough nib in there, maybe from the threading. I'm not sure, but it slides nice and smooth now. So now what I want to do is I want to take this down, and then we're going to build a washer just to create a little safe space so that this thing doesn't start sliding off with a 200-pound engine sitting on it. So we're just going to, let's take this off for now and square that up. Okay, so we've got our piece. We're set up there. Now what we need to do is put it in the saw, and so let's pull it out. Oh, dang. I know I'd forgotten something. All right, it's not going to hurt too much. Pretty smooth. All right, good. We need to cut a groove in here. Okay, Nick Collier here, and this is pretty much what I've come up with. The fact is I use this engine hoist for the lathe, you know, 99.9% of the time. So basically I bring it out to about here, and that's all I need. And I'm picking up a couple 100 pounds. So it isn't like I'm pulling a quarter of a ton, which would be 500 pounds plus, or anything like that. So, and usually I got it way in here, because all I need to do is reach the center of the chunk there. And so what I've done is I came in and I cut off a section of the extender, and I'm going to put that in here, and then I measured how many degrees to bring this back to level, and it's 55 degrees. So then what I want to do is just cut these two pieces of steel like this and like that, and at 55 degrees, and probably weld up the wedges there too. And then come in with my little round of steel and weld that to this part here too. And that way I have a horizontal surface, or a horizontal pin, and then I can slide the rotator on there and hook it up to the motor, and the motor can sit out here. So this will work perfect. The engine will sit from here to here, and I'll be able to rotate it and fix it and, you know, add things to it and so on and so forth. And this thing can move around where I need to put the motor when I'm working on it. Well, I got so excited about building this thing I forgot to film it, but basically we just did a little wedge in there, and what that's done is given us the ability to bring our plug straight out. And but I'm gonna film this next part, which is welding the plug onto this wedge. For right now, we're gonna go over to the lathe and cut a V off the plug. So in order to get this little plug to weld onto that wedge, we need to take a bit of a V off of this, and you know, just to give it a little extra strength. So we're just gonna, you know, it's not going to be anything fancy. We'll just come in with our tool and chew it up a bit. Okay, our wedge is nice and hot, but our plug is not. So I think what we have to do is crank up our heat just a little bit. Just get good penetration there. That should be enough. Now I think what I'm going to do is stick weld this, but what I want to do is come in with the MIG and just get it locked into place first. All right, just a couple little tacks there, that'll take care of it. We're done with our welder today. Now, let's come in with a stick. Come on. Okay, as you can see, stick weld is definitely not as pretty as MIG, but it is very strong. So we're just going to let this set up while I answer that phone. Okay, there it is in place. It's still pretty hot, so we're not messing with it, but there it is locked in, and that should give us plenty of room to hang an engine out there and work on it. So I'm excited. Okay, so I've marked my holes and I've center punched them. Now I'm going to run just a little pilot drill down through that. Then we'll come out to maybe about a ½ an inch or so. There we go. We're not looking for super accuracy, just drilling some holes. Okay, first thing we're going to do is go ahead and drill a pilot hole. And I love this Bridgeport because one of the cool parts about it is you kick this thing into gear, boom, it just drills the hole for you. Okay, we've got our pilots drilled. Now we're going to drill our oversized hole a little bit. Well, that looks pretty good. Let's do a third and a fourth one, but you know, hey, we'll be back. Well, I would like to have just gone over to my local steel guy and picked up some 1-inch thick walled tubing, but it's Sunday and you know, I'm ready to kind of move forward on this, so I'm just drilling out a piece of 1-inch solid, and we're going to end up with 4 slugs that have 9/16 hole in it. Oops. Yep. You know, it's going to take a little while, but you know, it is Sunday morning and nobody's open, so that's what we do. Okay, 3 more of those and we're set to go. Okay, it's time to give this thing a try. Let's see how it's going to do. We got one there, no problem. We've got one here. Not too much of a problem. Except it might be a bit short. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be. I think what I might do is just build myself a little, maybe just throw a couple washers on there. What the hell? Just for the moment. Let's see what that's doing. That'll probably do it. Yeah, I think we're going to need more. I'll be back. Okay, so we've got a stack of 4 or 5 washers here. You know, when I go into town, I'll get a new bolt, a shorter one. But for now, let's just go with what we have and see if we can get this thing to bolt up. Okay, Nick Collier here. We've got this thing done. It's all in place. It seems to be working just fine. I even actually have rotation on the flywheel too, which you know, was pretty close. But this gives me the ability to move this engine around. Let's get this board out of the way. And put it where I want to put it. And then it also gives me the ability to come down lower or up higher depending on what I want to do. I am a very happy camper. Hey, if you like what's been going on here, check out my other videos. I'm getting close to 200 at this point. And subscribe. Subscribing is good. I send you a little email when I put up a new video. I usually put up one every week, sometimes two. Okay, thanks a lot. Nick Collier signing out.